G'day, my name is Tony, and today, unfortunately, I need to discuss a project that failed miserably. So my plan was to make gauntlets like these. These are the failed gauntlets, and you can see the full video of how I made those at the back. But unfortunately, when you look at them, you can see that they're all cracking. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, look at that. All the other pieces I've made are more static pieces, so they don't move too much. They don't need to be very flexible, but gloves typically move a lot. And these crack. It's really not nice to see. It might look okay from far away, but as soon as you move things around, let me put that one on. They crack. You can see the cracks everywhere. You can even hear the cracks, and that's just not right. I made those gloves. I think it's all based on the sealant that was used for the foam, and for these I used exclusively Mod Podge, and that's just not good enough, I think. So I looked at a few videos, and I found out that in the US they use mostly Plasti Dip, which I couldn't find in Australia. But I started looking a bit more, and I eventually found it. So I'm gonna try with that. I didn't find it in a craft shop or in a DIY shop. I found it in a car shop like Super Cheap Auto or Repco. I actually bought this one in Repco for 27 bucks, which was the cheapest I could find. So I'll have to redo the gloves at some point. I don't think I can repair this. I'll have to redo them with Plasti Dip this time, and we'll see how we go. But in any case, they're still usable. They're just not very nice from close, from up close. We'll see. Anyway, the full video of how I made these gloves comes just behind this. And if you like it, subscribe. And if you want to see some more, subscribe. And whatever you do, just subscribe. It just makes it easier for everybody, especially me. And I'll see you in the next one. Keep creating. G'day, my name is Tony, and tonight we're going to explore the world of gauntlets. So a gauntlet, or a glove basically, is what you put over your hand magic. Now you can see this one is made of a glove that is covered in shiny metal bits that are actually foam. The thing is, from afar you need to be able to think it's metal. Now this one's not totally finished, so it's just been covered a little bit with paint. It'll be aged up, but it's basically the same as this one here. It was two of a pair that I bought together, obviously, as you buy gloves, and it moves from here onto here, and that's what we're going to do again today for the second glove, because I need both. The main thing you want to start with when you do gauntlets is to find a nice pair of gloves. These are like builder's gloves that I found at Bunnings. They were 12 bucks for the pair. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to remove all the things that are not exactly medieval, like this brand. I'm going to paint all the yellow in black, and then I'm going to seal it off with Podge, and I'm going to start gluing bits of foam on it that I have pre-cut somewhere. Something about the glove I need to say: take some leather-ish gloves, something that is hard and that is not plastic, because when you're going to put some hot glue on it, the plastic is going to melt. It's going to be A, very painful, 2, not very good to look at, because you'll have holes, and 3 is just better in leather. It's more realistic. So, and these seems like very good gloves actually, and they're just 12 bucks. So even if you fail your cosplay, you can still use them to build stuff. Alright, remove the tags, paint in black, and then seal it up. So I've now removed the tag, and I'm just painting the yellow black. Basically, I'm just using some black acrylic paint, most basic one, and I'm putting a fair bit of it because that yellow is quite bright. And that's it. A bit of water so it goes through, and paint away. Doesn't have to be a very nice job. It's going to be under the armor scales anyway. While the paint is drying, I've prepared all the little foam parts, and you can see all the fingers there, all marked up so I don't mix them up. I've got all the foam parts here, and I've got a number of them to follow the lines that are on the glove. This particular glove happens to have a couple of parts where you can see the lines, so it'll be easier to just follow those lines and wrap the foam around those. I'm going to start with the biggest one that goes over the hand itself, I think. And I made it so that it will follow the lines, the seams there. And now it's just a question of using your old faithful glue gun and gluing it. So off we go. Right now I'm gluing all the bits of foam, the little bits of foam, all the little plates onto the glove with hot glue. It does take a lot of time because there's lots of pieces, but it's starting to look like something. Once I'm done all this, I'll have to paint it, but for the time being it's all glue. Now, I don't want to keep my fingers in there because it's A, it's hot, and B, I'm right-handed, so when I have my right hand I can't glue much. So what I do, I use one of those, that's a file, but it could be anything that's a little bit round, so it looks like a finger. Put it in there and glue so that it's nice and solid. And basically I've done two fingers almost, and I've got 3 more to finish because I've got 5 fingers, and that's it. I'm now at the point where I've glued all the bits on the glove. All fingers are done, even the thumb. And I've also used the heat gun to seal it off a bit so that the foam all went tightened up. And now it's time for sealant to go on it before we paint. So I'm going to use the podge and put 2 or 3 layers on it. The reason is there's a lot of little corners and little places where I'm not going to get through right away, so I need to make sure I put several coats. I'm going to water it down a little bit as well so that it sinks in all those little holes. And yeah, so 1 layer like this, 1 layer like that. I'm going to use a very soft brush, not to leave any lines basically, but that's it. So that's the next task, and hopefully we'll get to some point where we can paint it like that afterwards and have a second glove, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah. As I was putting the first coat of Mod Podge, I realized I forgot to put the detail on, so I forgot to glue the whole thing. So I quickly cut a little piece of foam and I will put it there once it's dry, and then I'll start the whole Mod Podging again. But otherwise, that's the 1 coat. I'm going to do probably 2 more. I've now almost finished the glove and so basically painted it over the Mod Podge and all. But I've realized that I probably used the wrong sealant. Something that's not working because the paint cracks, everything's cracking. I don't know if you can see. So it's really not very nice, this one as well. Just because there's so much movement in the fingers, it's just not like a helmet. It just has a lot more movement, and therefore it cracks. Which means that I'll probably have to redo them. I'm going to stop the video at this and look for an alternative sealant in Australia. We'll see. Sorry about this. In any case, I'm hoping you learned a bit from the video. I surely did. And yeah, next time maybe we'll get it right. Alright, in any case, have fun, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.